Welcome back to Our Community. Susie Thomas visiting with Betty Smith from Enrichment, celebrating 5 years now, and not just music education anymore. You've got kids planting gardens.
Oh, yeah.
You're seeing such a change and realizing such an impact on not just these young people, but I'll bet their families in turn. Tell us a little bit about it.
You know, it is wonderful to see the parents come. Now, this is not all parents, but most of our parents are very much engaged in the lives of the children. And we have foster children. We have a lot of foster children. We have a lot of single-parent homes. We have autistic children. And, you know, a lot of our children have been labeled ADHD. There's just a lot of things going on in their lives. And I sit sometimes on Saturday and just listen to stories from the kids about things that are happening at school or things that are happening, or they're being bullied, or things at home. And, of course, it's all confidential, but they know that I'll listen, and it just between the two of us, you know. And, you know, I say a prayer for our kids and encourage them to do the best that they can do, not try to get involved in all of the negativity, but focus on their music. And why are you here? You love to sing. Pick up your violin and play your violin, or blow your trumpet, or beat on your drums, and take your mind off of all the negativity. And I said, and you'll get through that. And every day you get through.
What kind of happy endings have you gotten to witness?
Oh, my goodness. Eyewitness. We now have, I think we're up to 10 young people that now play in their school band.
Oh, neat.
As a result of being in our program. Some of these kids are so gifted. We have a young man in particular, after 3 months, he could play a trumpet. The trumpet teacher was blown away. He said, this young man is gifted. And when 6 months, he was playing in the high school band.
How cool.
And he started with me from the beginning. And, of course, because he's so involved now in his band and everything, he's not able to come. But when he can, he comes back just to talk to the kids or listen to what they're doing and they're playing. And then he shares his life. You know, he said, and my family's still a little bit dysfunctional. He said, but when I came to Miss Betty's program, he said, I didn't even want to come. My grandfather says, no, I have to get you into something positive. And I think this program will be good for you. And after a while, he picked up that trumpet, and he didn't even know he could play.
Wow.
And the sounds that came out. We have a young lady that was the same way, plays trumpet in the band as a result of being. Now, we also let them keep their instruments.
Wow.
Yes, I tell them, if you're going to become a part of your band, and a lot of the schools don't have instruments that the kids can take home, you know, and own. This is mine, but I let them keep them. I said that's their incentive to. If you do well and you can play in your band, we've got clarinet players, flute players playing in bands,
and they can own them.
They can own them, and then I raise more money to buy more instruments, or people donate, and then I work with the local music stores and they fix them. So we can use instruments if, you know, if they're beat up, or just shake the dust, get the dust off of them. Some of them people just have them there.
Let's talk about donations, because there might be some people who, you know, you're in your 50s, 60s, maybe beyond now, and you had that trumpet way back, and it's in the attic.
Yes.
Can you take something that maybe is a little bit old?
Most
Or
definitely.
you know how kids, they decide they want to do something, and then a few months down the road, they're into something else completely, and so you've got an array of instruments that maybe you've been collecting as they change their
I hear
interests.
those stories as parents bring me the. One young lady, she says, I bought an acoustical guitar for my son, and he decided, I don't want to play that. Yeah. So we got a brand new acoustical guitar.
That's awesome. Bring them to Betty, right? Yes.
Yeah, and if they need padding or something, I can go to Don Laser, or I can go to Joe Martin or somebody, and they'll fix it for me.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Something else that I think is very cool is your way to connect with this young generation, because there is a difference in generations between the two of you.
You got that right.
You grew up in a different era than these kids are growing up.
Most definitely.
And how do you do that? How do you connect so well with them?
Well, you know, even though we're in a different era, some of the things are like, gee, I went through that. I kind of had those same kind of problems. We handled them differently, much more, you know, because my mom was a strict disciplinarian. And I grew up in a home that was dysfunctional, and, we didn't have a lot. My mom was on welfare, so I can identify.
Wow.
I can really identify with these kids and these parents who are struggling. We had 7 kids in the family, and my mom, my dad died when I was 8, and she was 28 with 7 children.
Wow.
So, I can really relate to a lot of these kids. But I'm saying, you can make it.
Yeah.
I made it.
you.
Yeah,
Yes.
you can make it. So I can really identify with a lot. Now, there's really a lot of the way some of the kids dress, and the way they're allowed to go to school, the way they look. I'm like, when I grew up, that was just unheard of.
Do you have different rules for them when they're in enrichment?
Oh, most definitely. No baggy pants. The girls have to dress ladylike. Can't have anything exposed, and some of them just don't know. And I've had a couple of moms that say, I had my daughter when I was young. I was teenager, and so I really need help. And they don't mind saying, Miss Betty, whatever you can do on your end. I say, well, together we'll work together and we'll make it be okay.
So you really are working with families.
Oh, yes.
It is a team effort.
It's definitely a team effort.
And what I love is the kids do not mind. They know they need to be on their best behavior, watch their P's and Q's, and dress right when they're going to see Miss Betty.
They have to. And I've sent some home. During summer camp, the short shorts and the tops off, and I'm like, nope, we got to go home. Or I'll call the parents and say, this is not appropriate.
Yep.
And the parents appreciate it.
Yeah.
They really do.
Well, I think, like anything, kids just need to kick the tires a little bit.
You got that right. Yeah. Oh, they'll push you now.
Oh, yeah. That's their responsibility.
Oh, they do that, but they know Miss Betty doesn't play.
But they want their parameters set for them, don't they?
Most definitely. And, kids want discipline.
Yes.
They really do.
They know you care.
That's right. And I can be pretty tough on them. I know how to say no. I don't care how many times. No. And it's like, okay, Miss Betty said no.
You mentioned summer camp a while.
Yes.
Let's talk about Summer Fine Arts Camp. What's happening?
Okay. Our Summer Fine Arts Camp this year is June the 6th through July the 27th, 3 days a week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 10 in the morning till 3. And we have something as young as 5 and up to 18. So we have special programs for our 5, 6, 7-year-olds, and then our 8, 9-year-olds, and then 10, 11, 12, and then our teens. Because we still have teens that come to our summer camp. And we do choir, we do art classes. Now, the instruments, what we do in summer, if they already are playing an instrument, or if they will come back to our fall program, which is on Saturdays, we'll give them an instrument in the summer. But if they're not going to continue with the instrument, we don't just start them for 7 weeks.
Right.
It has to be a continuation. So for those that don't want to do instruments, we do the choir, we do the dance, we do drumline, we do steel drums. We got the little Jimmy Jams, and they do the steel drums, and we do a fun and fitness, and then of course we've added the garden.
Yes.
So there's plenty to do. Keeps them busy all day. We get our lunches from the Canton Calvary Mission. Doesn't cost us anything, and so they eat. They get a snack. They get a snack twice a day. So it's a well-rounded program.
It sounds phenomenal.
They
and
have fun.
Cost for summer camp to attend?
Free.
It's summer camp where you're going to get to do explore all the arts.
That's exactly right. And if they want to play an instrument, I'll have an instrument for them as long as they continue with me on Saturdays. That's the criteria.
Just phenomenal. How do people sign up, and how do they find out more? And do you need volunteers?
I always need volunteers.
Okay.
Yes, we always need we even need volunteers on Saturday. We need help because we check the kids in, and you have to make sure they get to the class on time. You can help monitor the classes. We need office work, people to help us in office, with paperwork and things like that. And then they can call me at 330-546 7724. That's 330-546-7724. Or they can email me at bettymacSmith@gmail.com. And
Awesome.
the Mac is without the K.
Yes.
BETTYMAC Smith@gmail.com.
Do you have a website for enrichment?
Yes, we do. It's en-rich-ment.org.
Awesome.
And we're also on Facebook. You can find us on Facebook. Enrichment of Stark County.
Good for you.
Yes.
You're so with it.
Yeah.
Okay, and I understand you've got a couple of needs for a couple of instructors.
Most definitely.
Let's talk about that.
We desperately need a strings instructor. They're very hard to come by. I don't know if strings is becoming a lost art or
Could
what,
be.
but you just can't find a strings teacher. And when you do, they're so overloaded because there's so few of them. And so the young lady that I have now, she has taken a full-time job. So April 7th is her last day, and I have 14 young people with strings, 7 in my intermediate and 7 beginners. I was teaching a strings class before I got her, and I really don't know how to play the strings. I'm reading the book and, and knowing the strings and everything, so I can do the basics, and I know how to read music, so that helped. But I'm not a strings teacher, no.
So we need
I really need a strings
bona fide strings teacher
Yes.
to contact you.
And, it could be a high school student that's an advanced student, a college student. It's really great for the college students.
Yes.
And that's and I had in the past, I did have some college students that really helped me. So I'm reaching out just wherever I can find. And I've sent out 8 letters to 8 people. I was given names, but they're all busy.
Okay. So you know someone, or you are that someone.
Right.
Give Betty a call,
Please.
330-546-7724. Also a choir instructor?
I need a choir instructor. In the past, we've always had someone, actually from Malone, that worked with my choir, because I want all of the young people that come to our program to learn to read music. That's a must. So I need someone that can read the music. I do have a keyboard player, Jordan Harris, and he plays keyboard for me, although he's going off to college in August, so I'm going to be losing him.
That does happen.
Yeah, that happens.
That's a good thing.
It is. And Jordan's been with me, for years.
Wow.
So that's a blessing. But he can play. But, if the choir, some choir directors can play as well as, direct the choir. And that person also would conduct our little orchestra, because in the summer we put all of our instruments together and we play a couple of numbers, and so we have a little orchestra. So if they could conduct an orchestra. But if they can't conduct an orchestra, we still would like to have them.
That is so good. All right. And again, we'll give you the number again, 330-546-7724. Go to en-rich-ment.org.
Right.
Do you do anything with the visual arts, or are you talking about doing that?
Well, we do have. We do have visual arts class. A young lady named Alexia Boz, in fact, she won all kinds of awards last year at school. She's phenomenal. And I'm hoping she's going to be able to come back this year, because she's been with me for 3 years, but she's off to college. She's in college now. So I talked to her. She says, Miss Betty, I'm not really sure what my schedule's going to be for the summer, but I hope I can come back. But if not, I need someone to come in and really help me.
This summer camp is so phenomenal. What's the cutoff as far as number of students you can accept?
Well, last year we had 85.
Yeah.
So I told staff, I says, let's do 90. I had 120 enroll.
Wow.
I had 120 kids enroll, but we had 85, and 79 consistently came every day.
And you're going to get enriched with the arts, music, movement, everything,
Right.
and you get 2 snacks.
That's right. And I always say we're much more than music.
Yeah.
We're much more than music, because, this is this program is therapy for the young people. The garden was really therapy for the kids. I had a couple of young people in my program last year. They were on probation, 14 and 15.
Oh, my.
But they took to the garden.
Wow.
And that was
healing.
Oh, my goodness, yes.
You're developing artists, but instrumentalists, but you are developing fine young people.
Most definitely.
Betty Smith, thank you so much from Enrichment. Thanks for what you're doing in our community.
And thank you, Susie. It's always a pleasure to be on your show.